All right, y'all. So Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan's EZA was announced this morning, and he is pretty good. We're gonna go ahead and do a community reaction here. We're gonna focus on like one part of the passive a lot in this video. I already know it, and I said this in yesterday's kind of video where, and I even made a tweet about it in the video. This right here, I think, is going to be where people will have a lot of issues. And funny enough, I thought it would be for two separate, for a separate reason than people are actually angry at it. But we'll talk about it. And I still think that like the reason that people are upset about this is deceptive, because okay, I guess at this point, let's just hop right into it. So this guy for the first 4 turns has 30% damage reduction and then guards all attacks, which, you know, that is what I thought would be deceptive to people, because of the fact that with the 30% reduction and guard, like we've had many characters who've had a much higher threshold for damage reduction. Like turn 1 Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta does have, what is it, 80% reduction, then he goes into 40% after with his counter. These guys have like guard and 60% reduction, right? You know, even when the Super Saiyan 4 Goku came out, his 30% damage reduction, a lot of people were very like, but then, you know, we see Omega with 60%, Rose gets up to 70% with guard. I think, you know, even in Broly, guard 60% reduction, like this guy has guard at 60% reduction. Like you guys are kind of seeing where I thought that, you know, people would look at those characters, see this guy and be like, oh, his damage reduction and guard is lower. And it is. I mean, I was even saying, you know, theoretically, for him to be safer without me seeing the rest of a kit, of course, like just to like for sure be like, yes, okay, no matter what, this guy will be looking good. The 60% reduction in guard does carry you a pretty long way. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much stats this guy gets. And, you know, he gets quite a huge amount of stats down here when attacking. I mean, it's like, it's nearly like 400% stats after this guy does attack, which is quite a lot. It's what, 418% in total? Yeah, so this guy gets a huge amount of defense post attacking, which I was like, you know, I would have liked him to be potentially somewhat viable, but the team does at least have a lot of someone characters. I just think we need less dodge or die characters in general, even after attacking, which this guy definitely does take care of that. And it seems like he'll do some pretty decent damage too, honestly. All things considered, especially from the 5th turn, this guy will be getting this extra 159% defense or 159% attack here. I would say though, like, you know, in the current content, that's where we probably won't see that as often. But I think that's where people are worried about this guy actually. Is post 4th turn, because he'll lose his entire defensive ability, which I think it's fair to be worried about that, but that's because there's like a different mindset regarding this. So again, I made this tweet here. I haven't looked, but I bet people will see guard plus 30% damage reduction and call this guy bad automatically. We'll look at this tweet first, and I did actually ask people for their thoughts on the EZA itself. This one actually got more attention. It's Doke on Twitter. Yeah, I mean, Doke on Twitter at the end of the day, I don't like, again, because of the norm of how characters look like, I think it's easy to get, I think, comfortable with how characters will look like in certain areas. But also we need to consider, at the end of the day, I think one thing that people may not really recognize, and I said this in other videos too, is the actual defensive stat is the most important thing. This guy could have 3 million defense, and, you know, if he's with damage reduction 30% guard, it's not good. But if this guy is shooting out 15 million defense, but then he has just guard, like that is actually pretty good still. Or if this guy just has like a raw, like even like just a raw 15 million defensive stat, he'll be very good in many turns and many situations. And this guy is a stacker. Like if he gets to like 50 million defense or something crazy like that after attacking a festival, it's like, well, this guy is actually going to be fine in festival, right? He's going to take double-digit damage from every single super, for the most part, right? I think you guys kind of see my point there, because like those super attacks are hitting for like the Gogeta one hits for like 30 mil, but that's like the hardest hitting one. 24 mil, 30 mil, right? And we're seeing certain bosses like hit near that level in these short fights right now, which is a bit funny. But there's many units that are super powerful. I think characters, honestly, I think people's characters are way more stronger than like a lot of the community gives him credit for as well. This Gohan is going to be really good. I mean, let's keep reading the comments, but we do have Halford's calculations up too. You know, we do love Halford here for providing us these calculations. In fact, he loses that and gets nothing back. He's a stat merchant. I mean, well, firstly, this guy's stacking, right? I think he does continue to get stronger. 50% defense stacks every turn. It's quite a huge difference. It's a huge amount of defense stacks. I mean, this guy gets the same, like his 50% stacking, right? I mean, it's twice the amount of Vegeta and Trunks, for example, right? And, you know, Vegeta Trunks is a slot 1 character, but still, you know, this guy is not going to be stacking as much as like the LR gods, for example, but he also does have multiplicative buffs. He gets 418% defense when attacking. I mean, if we take a look at stackers, like 50% defensive stacking characters don't usually get like these huge multiplicative buffs, like 418%, and then he's like a Newton character on top of that. Like, who's a great defensive stacker? Like this character is a defensive stacker, 50%, could do multiple 50% per turn, but 200% and then 160%. Gohan has LR stats, right? I mean, well, I guess can't include this in easy, so they have actually higher defense than them. But you guys could see where this character, for example, you know, they also have dodge, being fair, but like this character has way less. Like, I mean, it's more than twice the amount of multiplicative stats, and Gohan can get way higher start of turn stats. So there's a difference right there. We take a look at int hit. Int hit, I think, you know, gets what, 100% attacking defense when attacking, and then he has the dodge. Int hit is really good. I think this is one of the more underrated characters in the game, honestly. This int hit, he's very powerful. Even in this like current short event kind of content, he still has a lot of value because he has the attack debuff here, the interruption, the seal. Like, he could do a lot of very interesting things. Hit is, I mean, it's one of the more underrated characters. Yeah, I mean, I said that, but yeah, like, just in general, like, he's like, if I was gonna say like top 3 underrated characters this year, it's Hit. Hit's one of them. Like, no one talks about this guy ever. No one talks about this guy. I mean, and guess what, guys? It's Hit. That's why it's Hit. People talk about this guy more. It's Blue Kaioken Goku, but he sucks. I think that also helps. People talk about Raditz, of course, but like, if it's like, you guys kind of see my point. Like, no one really talks about Tao like that anymore. I think people talk about Tien a lot though. Tien's cooked. Yeah, they cooked with this guy. They keep just juicing and just slobbing on Tien, bro. Like, they are just like doing tricks on him, on his, just like, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. They're just juicing the fuck out of this guy, and I'm here for it. But still, like, oh my god. Okay, I'm getting off topic. Let's keep looking here. But I was like, what does stat merchant mean? Like, what do you mean by stat merchant? Is it just like calling someone a something merchant means that they're reliant on that mechanic? But the entire game relies on their stats. So what do you mean by stat merchants? Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, the entire game runs on their stats. That's why we like seeing these calcs ahead of time. You know, at the end of the day, we like to see in-game performance because there's a lot of variables. But stats at the end of the day, character has 20 mil defense. Oh, like, you know, the only supers that would hurt them are very niche, like, are very certain scenarios. But like, you guys kind of get the point. Did he reply? Big number, no defense mechanic. Okay, yeah, but calling it stat merchant is silly, firstly. And the thing is, I feel like people don't realize these fights are ending. Like, on the youth team, these fights end in like 4 turns, like at best. Like, on the youth team with Gohan, Goten, and Trunks, this character that's like doing damage that, like, you know, I mean, with Gohan, you know, you could say, like, you know, like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta could do more damage because he has guarantee crits, but this character will give him at least like potentially 30% here. Like, Goten and Trunks could get 60% chance to crit here. And that's not considering, like, you know, Path Power Kid Goku, does he not also give like crit chance for support, like if he's on rotation? Like, yeah, where's the crit chance? It's a medium chance to crit, but this character, if they land all their crits, they will do damage like comparable to like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta on his active turn. And like you're telling me that this character, like, fights don't end in 3 turns, 4 turns with this character, especially because they're int. Like, think of Zamasu fight. Zamasu's cooked. The new fight, I mean, it's cooked. Right? This Goten Trunks, like, they instantly KO, like the new Gohan fight. Maybe they, like, you know, had disadvantage against the Trunks fight, but you guys get the point. Where, like, this character's damage, plus, I mean, I think this guy's gonna do some pretty good damage himself. And he's a stacking character. And then, okay, think about the actual relevant fights beyond 4 turns that are genuinely challenging our characters at this point. The Jiren fights, even then, are like this guy, like, okay, let's take a look at Halbert's calc so I can prove a point. Jiren fights hit for like, what, 6 mil? Youth ally, hybrid Saiyan ally, 6 key spheres. Let's say 2 super attack effect stats. So this is turn 3. Oh, hey, he's already at 5 fucking million defense. And then we get the active skill. With just 2 stacks, he's at 7 million defense. Wow. That's crazy. Ooh, that's a really high. Guess what? On turn 3, with both of these guys' active skills up, this character's already double-digit tanking the super attacks. 40% support. This guy's this higher defense, right? I mean, if you get a double super with him, because he has a guaranteed additional super, he's at 9 mil defense. This could be this. You can get this turn 3. I mean, you can get higher. Like, just 40% support. Pat Parked Goku gives 50%. Pan gives 60%. GT Trunks gives 60%. You guys seeing what I'm saying? You know, it's almost like a stat merchant is such a stupid argument because it's just like the entire game runs on stats. You can't call someone reliant. Yes. Oh my god. Oh, like this argument is probably what even like makes me like. This is the one I responded to. It's the one I saw because it was an instant response. But like, I think people don't realize, like, if the number is big enough. Guys, if the number is big enough, it doesn't matter. And the Jiren fights don't even challenge our characters like that anymore. Like, it's the short fights that are. And then the only long fight that genuinely challenges our characters is Festival, which in the first place, most people hate that event. So most people don't even consider it. But then if you are considering the events, oh, this guy loses his guard against Int Sword of Hope Trunks, I'm fucked. No! This guy will stack for the next like 50 turns, and guess what? I mean, here he's already at like 5 mil. It seems like how much defense does he get? 700k or so, like 800k or so with every super attack he does. Like, because they're all 50% raises, so this guy's gonna get like a ton of defense after he gets all of his stacks up. Like, he'll be fine. And he's attack stacking too, so his damage will be able to keep up too. I mean, it is a 30% attack stack, or no, actually, it might be 20% attack stack, but he should be fine for the most part still. And you know, he'll get all this extra damage on turn 5 too. So like, you know, even if you get to turn 5, you're likely killing the boss with Goten and Trunks plus this guy, like, for sure. Think of this guy in the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta fight. He's fine. I think the only time this guy could like get instantly KO'd is the Goku Black Zamasu fight, turn 1 instant lock. But guess what, guys? This is Yellow Coin LREZA. Guess what, guys? Guess who can get killed there? Like, everyone, for the most part. Like, most characters in the game could get killed there. This guy can. I mean, this guy doesn't dodge. Doesn't get his counter in that situation or a dodge. Like, he can also die. AJ Rose could die, right? Let's take a look here at Goten and Trunks. They don't dodge, they could die. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta won't die, but he'll take a lot of damage, right? And this guy is not intended to be a Psalm 1 character, because on this new team, we do have a couple of Psalm 1 options, right? We just, like, the issue with this team is that everyone was, like, a dodge character. Except for the leader. But this guy was a dodge character. You're a dodge character. You just can't take supers. You just can't take a lot of supers. You're a dodge character, especially early on in fights. You have to proc that guaranteed dodge. If you do get it, you're good. But if you don't proc it, these could be very dangerous. in these short fights because he's a long event stacker character, right? This guy's a dodge character. This character sometimes can't take supers. This character needs to nullify. You guys can see what I'm talking about. This is a dodge character here. But now we have a character that can just like post super attack. I feel safe. I feel safe with this guy post super. That's huge for this team. Because a lot of these characters can do really good things. Like this guy in turn 3 can get guaranteed dodge. This guy, once he starts stacking up, can get guard, plus his reduction, plus the stacking, and a heal. This character provides damage reduction support. This character could provide a lot of support with, 70% chance to dodge, but like having a character that's going to be consistently living post super, it's so huge for this team. It actually is, right? But now that we have that one character, like that's a staple, and also I think carrying damage as well will be really good for this team, because again, a lot of these characters, like this guy right here, SDR Pan, like turn 3, like they can start looking really good and really impressive. This character needs to build up. A lot of characters are build up characters, so having like a character turn 1, of course, he gets 110% defense or attack when attacking, right? But like he'll be able to do some decent damage at least starting off. So, yep, this Gohan's pretty good. This Gohan's pretty good, guys. Anyways, let's keep looking at some of the other replies here. Telemailing plus casualties. I mean, yeah, but guess what? He'll be fine, because I mean, if any, he'll be like going off this with the active skills up and with support, he's gonna be post 10 mil defense. Like once he gets another stack here. So yeah, it's 4 million defense at post super guaranteed, and that's turn 1. Loses after 4 turns. Again, we talked about this already. Dude, Oni or something was Oni saying something? Oni King. Oni, were you saying something, Oni? Let's bring up Oni King. Oni King. Where is... I can't find Oni, unfortunately. I'm trying to look for Oni. If Oni was saying shit, Oni bad. Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta or something, you didn't read his game, he sucks. Well, I mean, I know this is like kind of just joking around, but yeah. It's stats only for 4 turns he's automatically docked. Never mind him stacking and the same amount of defense he gets after attacking. I don't know, I feel like people just don't have reading comprehension. I mean, I know so much about this game, guys. I feel like I don't want to be in a position where I'm like sounding so like full of like ego and like, how could you not understand how this works? Like, and I'm talking to like a someone who started the game like 3 months ago, and they're like, well, I'm scared, or something. I don't know. That sounded rude as well, but you guys kind of, I think even just looking at the big numbers and realizing like the basics of this game, like unless you're like a new player, if you've been playing for like 3 years, like even the past 3 years, like you should be in the know if you're in the community and responding to my tweets and like follow me. Like I talk about this stuff a lot, but if this is your first time learning, then yeah, again, that's kind of like there's a lot of things to consider, essentially, right? Like all this, like again, 50% defense stackers, like you really look at the characters that are available, like they don't get like 418% after attacking or have like nuking stats like that, right? Of course, a lot of those characters may be able to get multiple stacks in the turn, but you guys get the point. It's an expiration date, like a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan for the 10th anniversary. Units are designed to survive Duo K in current meta, but won't survive the next big one. Loses both damage reduction and guard. Okay, well, if we get to like a longer event meta where this guy will eventually like kinda get killed without it, then yes, it would suck, unfortunately, and in that situation it would be nice, but I think the most important thing is that the character will be good in the current content that they release in. Like, I mean, let's say AGO Gogeta. I'm not gonna call AGO Super Gogeta like a failure because he can get completely decimated, washed, like turned inside out, like very easily, extremely, like sadly. Like, God, that poor AGO Super Gogeta. That Vegeta part of the card is so unbelievably like just like sad, and just, I mean, he can't even live normal sometimes, bro. I had the clip ready. Like, this guy, this is so Just look at this, man. 2.4 mil. Like, I mean, it's not all characters are going to be good here. Like, AWI did better than this guy, man. Super Saiyan 4 Inch Gogeta did better than this guy here. Let me retweet that again. It's my own tweet, but still, I'm not going to like it because that's kind of funny. But, and I'm not going back and saying, oh, Super Gogeta's a failure, especially because he'll be good in certain content. Like, I think they're always going to have a blend of long and short content. Right now, I think long content, we could use another long stage. The ultimate, I think the hardest long stage right now is probably the Omega Shenron, like the Shadow Dragon's boss rush, but it's not particularly crazy. You know, I think if we had a long stage that was doing like these mega, like even like a 20 mil super or something, I think for these new characters, yeah, then we could start talking. Or like dodge disable too. The Omega does dodge disable, I guess, being fair. But maybe I should start doing some more testing of that Omega fight so I can kind of gauge it properly. So yeah. Anyways, yeah, let's keep reading some. I don't think, I mean, saying expiration date, I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, because they could always have an event that comes out where this guy will be good. I mean, yeah, they could very well just have an event come out where this guy will still be a very viable option. He looks very good. The only things that bum me out is that he loses guard and damage reduction in 4 turns. The active skill condition is also shitty for his current teams. No, they can't change it. Yeah, the active skill condition they can't change, unfortunately. Should be solid in the current fights. A lot of this is, you know, well, I guess this one's 3 hours ago. But it's easier funny because he's better than the physical Father Swing Kamehameha. I mean, yeah, he is definitely just better than the physical one because he's stacking too. And I think the physical one is like decent still, but I think his intro condition also hurts him a lot. This guy doesn't have like the conditions that guy does to an extent. I mean, well, he has these conditions, but like, at least these are relevant on the team that they're pushing. Like they weren't, like, we take a look at the physical Father Son Kamehameha Gohan. I think the biggest issue for this guy, honestly, is not even like necessarily his kit, but his intro is locked behind Full Power and Android Cell Saga. But they're not pushing those teams this year, really. I mean, we got the Goku Gohan EZA, but they weren't crazy. Like, you're not using this guy with the other cells. Full Power, the Omega team, you're not using him on. Like, you have to do like Kill and Khalifa on the team. But like this new Hybrids team, you don't have like literally the ability to run them unless you use them without Leader skill. That's the issue. And even like Tech Super, is Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan? Like, you could theoretically run the Tech Super Saiyan 2 Gohan if he's on full power. I think he is. It makes sense. Yeah, he is. So like, we could run both of the Super Saiyan 2 Gohans, as long as they don't like get stuck next to each other, which could happen. But you could run both of them. It's not the biggest like issue. I think 9 out of 10 times. So yeah. This guy actually, his existence does help out the existing one, but it would be really good is same name linking, right? That would be awesome. Definitely built for GDC. Feel like youth will be good, not that far off. Look, I know you want to be Mr. Positive. We've seen characters like this before. Well, firstly, I'm not even trying to be positive. Okay, well, you're gonna see like a lot of my manga collection, like images there, whatever, which is really funny. You used to just save like tons of panels that I thought looked cool. I'm not even trying to be positive. Like, I mean, you guys have seen me like trash on multiple characters in the past. I just say how it is. We could look at this like, okay, let's say like a 10 million super attack, right? Or no, I think 7 million. I think makes a lot of sense for like, you know, or let's do 9 mil for like a turn 2 Goku Black. I think Goku Black can hit super mega hard, but let's say like a second turn Goku Black, you start attacking him, he hits for like 9 mil or something, right? That just as an example. Let's say he gets a double super with the second super attack effect stats. No support or anything. 5, 988, 959, extreme int with 30% damage reduction plus passive guard. Oh, he's taking double digits. Wow. That's crazy. Wow, it's almost like this guy is really good. Whoa. And we start counting this active skill from the int Goten Trunks. We start counting all the support on the team. And it's almost like this guy's really good where he's intended to be at. I would say it does suck if you don't have them, but there are a lot of characters that you can run as a sub leader on this youth team. You could run Eijo Kid Goku. You know, he's not necessarily a sub leader, but DB Saga, Earthbred Fighters, like all these youth characters are pretty much on Earthbred Fighters. I think the only one that won't be is if we get like a Pansy card. I think that we could see a Pansy card, by the way, for Peppy Girls, because she's also on, like, well, she's not Peppy Girls, but like on the girls banner that's upcoming next week, because she is on youth. So that could be interesting. Let's take a look here. I mean, yeah. You could run Pathfire Kid Goku, I guess, theoretically. I mean, this is a character you would run on the team anyways. A lot of these characters do fit this. Like, you could definitely run Pathfire Kid Goku and then a friend one. You'll feel the difference without this guy though, but that's where like this tech Gohan can help out quite a bit. But yeah, we'll take a look at some of their final replies here before I kind of end things. I'm kind of running a little over on time here. I got some stuff I got to do. I want to do a TUR tier list, but I might have to do that like up after, like I'm gonna have to do it tomorrow because there's gonna be, because I'm like, by the time I'm like personally like, oh my goodness, like there's like a data download later today, so lots to do. I was also sick, so that's why I'm like late with this. He's good. We'll be upset to do that big update they talked about unless for active skills to be updated. I'm personally gonna think that they won't have active skills updated. I think that what would be best is same name linking, but also they don't need a big update for that, so who knows what they're gonna do. Special battle buck toy after turn 4. Do people get to special battle on turn 6? Maybe this is just me, but even with like my free dupe Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta or characters like that, like yeah, 55%, like the damage is crazy. It's good for it is, makes them easier to use. If you're him, might not do well in the current meta without that advances power creeps, just make everything hit harder. Well, I wouldn't even think necessarily. I think this is not the necessarily the answer as well to what the devs are doing with the new event. There's a lot of ways around it. Like, of course, you know, everything eventually will be hitting harder. Like, that's the big things that the devs will eventually do. But there's a lot of, like, things around it. Death to Path Coup. And you're running Tech Goten. I mean, this guy has 70% dodge, I guess, but I think Path Coup is probably a better option. I don't know. But, I mean, this looks pretty decent. This character, as long as they get a few dodges off early on, which, you know, this is the biggest thing, but they can start looking good. Gotta farm some Elder Kais and level super attack. This team is just 1 or 2 pieces away from being phenomenal. All we need is Kid Gohan. I mean, I'm gonna be real, guys. I don't think we're seeing another youth buff in the celebration. Except maybe if we get like a Pansy card from like Daima. I think this might be it for youth. Because, I mean, we're getting 2 TUR EZs, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna be Chilai and Fasha. But the Pepe Gals drop next week. So luckily, youth, there is a lot of options that could be upcoming for Extreme Z Awakenings. Like, more so next year rather than this year. Like, we take a look here. I mean, we still can eventually get Eijo Kid Gohan's EZA, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenk Super EZA. We could start getting, you know, if they start Super EZAing, like, Super Battle. Like, what if we get, like, I don't know, Ultimate Battle Road, and then they start super easying these characters, because these characters got their EZs a while ago, but like they could start super easying them, make this with a youth character too, give them guard or something, like make them really good. This could be cool. I mean, we don't have a good Gohan kid right now, but again, there's this guy right here too. Then we keep moving forward, you know, for next year we are even, like, technically Pan is a character that could EZA as well. Bulma next year could EZA. Like, there's a lot of these youth characters that, you know, will be able to get their Extreme Z Awakenings next year, so that's cool. I'll probably end things here, but yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Again, youth has a lot of options, hybrids as well if you run a hybrid team. I mean, Gohan does want a youth category ally attacking in the same turn. So like on this team, it would be a little bit difficult to always have that up, but yeah, also Future Gohan Trunks, more so hybrids, but I don't know. They might easy during a Future Saga celebration. I see like getting another Trunk Soakan Fest this year, but we'll see. Anyways, OST loops, you know that's time for the video to end. We're 30 minutes in. God, I'm such a yapper. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care.